It's my pleasure now to introduce Michael Adams. He is the Executive Director of SAGE, Services and Advocacies for LGBT Elders. SAGE is the oldest and largest organization in the country whose goal it is to transform the LGBT aging experience. And SAGE serves and advocates for countless LGBT older people all over the country. And just as a sidebar, I'm 67. But with the wind chill factor, it feels like 59. And I, despite everything that's going on in the world right now, have excellent blood pressure. So please welcome Michael to present our next award, the SAGE Advocacy Award for Excellence in Leadership in Aging Issues, to Senator Michael Bennet. Please welcome Michael Adams.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. So Rashad and Renku, when talking with us about why Ferguson is on our mind, reminded us of our community's history of being subjected to police abuse and our community's history of violence, systemic violence against our bodies. So this moment is a moment when we honor our LGBT pioneers who lived that history, People who fought the fight in the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s, when every step forward was life-threatening. Bayard Rustin, if he was still alive, would be 100 years old. James Baldwin, if he was still alive, would be 90 years old. Angela Davis, who still fights the fight today, is 71 years old. Jerry Hoos, Stonewall veteran, is dying on a hospice bed in New York City and is 65 years old. These are our elders, these are our pioneers, and we stand on their shoulders. I want to thank the task force. For being such a stalwart ally and partner for our LGBT elders and for SAGE. I'm honored to present this year's SAGE Award for Leadership in Aging Advocacy to a true champion for our community's elder pioneers. U.S. Senator Michael Bennet is the senior senator from Colorado and is the author and lead sponsor of the LGBT Elder Americans Act. The legislation is critical since it would correct grave injustices to which LGBT elders are subjected under our federal government's current aging policies. Just think about this one fact. Every year, our government, the U.S. government, distributes more than $2 billion across this country to support aging services, and less than $2 million of that $2 billion goes for our LGBTQ elder pioneers. That is an outrage, that's wrong, and it must be changed. That's why Senator Bennet has fought to amend the Federal Elder Americans Act to designate our elders as a priority for the federal government's policies. And while we know that it is unlikely that such progressive legislation can pass in this Congress, Senator Bennet is fighting and continues to fight, and has promised us he will fight until we get the job done. Now, we all know that it is somewhere between difficult and impossible to get progressive legislation through the current U.S. Congress. Recognizing that reality, Senator Bennett's leadership on LGBT aging issues only start with legislation. He is a constant voice. He is a constant advocate. He is pushing the envelope at every moment, and not just on LGBT elder issues, on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, on every issue that's been relevant to our LGBT communities. Now at SAGE, we know what Renku Sen emphasized a little earlier this evening, that a progressive LGBTQ aging agenda must be closely intertwined with the other great social justice causes of our generations. And an LGBT aging leader must be deeply committed to fighting for justice and equality on multiple fronts, on all fronts. And Senator Bennet personifies the best of this principle. He has led in the Senate on the rights of immigrants, sponsoring the DREAM Act, and playing a key role among senators that ensured the historic passage of immigration reform legislation passed by the U.S. Senate in 2013. He has fought tirelessly for clean energy and against this country's gross addiction to oil. He not only voted for health care reform, he spoke out loudly in favor of it, even though he was in the middle of a very tight election battle in a political swing state known as this state here of Colorado. That political courage has been Senator Bennet's hallmark. It's the reason why he has been such an invaluable ally for LGBT elders here in Colorado and across the country. Senator Bennet is not here tonight because he's in Washington, D.C., fighting to make sure that the new Congress does not take this country over a cliff. However, he taped a message for those of us here this evening, and we're going to play that now.
Hi, I'm Michael Bennet, and I'm sorry I can't be there today to accept this award, but thank you for this distinction and for all of your work on behalf of LGBT Americans across the nation. As the LGBT senior population continues to grow, it's critical that they receive equal treatment, have access to quality services, and are recognized as one of our vulnerable populations in greatest social need. No person, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, should ever be afraid to seek the support and services they need to enjoy their golden years. We look forward to continuing our work with SAGE to ensure that LGBT seniors can live their lives with dignity and security. And of course, we're standing with all of you at the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force as we fight for equality for all Americans. As all of you know, Colorado is one of 35 states that now has full marriage equality. With an important case before the Supreme Court, we must remain committed to ending discrimination. Thank you again for this honor. I hope everyone enjoys the evening.
So we're proud to present the 2015 SAGE Award for Leadership in Aging Advocacy to Senator Michael Bennet, and accepting for Senator Bennet tonight is Rosemary Rodriguez, State Director for Senator Bennet here in Colorado.
So tomorrow, Senator Bennet is going to call me and say, what happened last night? And I'm going to say, Michael, I saw the face of our nation, and it's beautiful. Thank you.